G'day preppers, pineapples and shit hit the fan. Two things that go hand in hand. Like most things that we grow in a garden, I personally recommend everyone grow pineapples. Now they do take a long time. They take about 18 months to 2 years to until you can actually pick them to eat. But I find them very rewarding. They're fantastic in the garden. If you like green foliage in the garden, instead of growing plants like bromeliads and stuff just for their flowers, well, why not grow pineapples instead and still have really nice foliage in your garden? And so all you need is a reasonably sunny spot, and they're as simple as can be. You've probably seen quite a few videos on growing pineapples, and you'll see people cut off the tops and put the tops into jars. Don't worry about that. Waste of time. All you really need to do is simply cut, and you do want to leave a bit of meat on it. Again, unlike what some people seem to say on in videos, is to cut as much as you can, and they're peeling off bits of leaf and all that. That's totally unnecessary. In fact, you want to leave a little bit of meat, so it's got some actual energy to feed off. So yes, it will still root, and at the same time the roots will feed off the meat that's left over as it starts breaking down, and so it's instant nutrients for the roots. So yeah, it certainly doesn't make any sense to cut it right back and peel off leaves and all that. You want to leave it as close to natural as possible. And so that's all we're doing. Obviously we got some yummy pineapples to enjoy later on. Oh, sorry about that. Once again, so this one didn't really leave much. I could have probably cut a bit more, but that's fine. There's no set rule, and and especially give this one a bit more, especially needing to pre-root the plant is a waste of time. Why bother putting it into a glass of water for however long, 4 days, a week? I'd rather have this sitting in the ground as soon as possible, and so it can acclimatise to the ground, and then the roots, as the roots grow, they're growing into the actual medium that they're going to be growing. And so like you put this into a glass of water, sure, you'll get roots come out, but those roots have been growing in water conditions, in that kind of condition. So when you remove it out of that glass and you put it into the ground, it's going to be like you'll have transplant shock, because it's gone from just water to now having to deal with soil. So you're much better off when the roots start protruding, that they're instantly in contact with moist soil, and so they know where they're at, and they just keep going. No transplant shock, and they'll grow and establish a little bit quicker. All right, so we'll just take these 3 into a sunny spot in the garden and plant them out. Okay, so under this, I've got a old lemon tree here that's just about dead. So we've got okay, so here I've got a little bit of soil to plant out. So pretty basic. We'll just give 3 little spots. You want to at least give them a foot a 1.5 foot apart if you can. As the leaves grow, they'll interlock. That's fine, they won't harm each other. Okay, whack it straight in, and that's it. Right, set and forget. You know, certainly don't need to put it in any jar. And because it's just the start of spring actually here in Melbourne, it's still quite cool actually, so I won't mulch until, you know, after a few weeks, just so the soil isn't as cold, so the sun can start penetrating the soil and warm it up a little bit, which will also help it set good roots. And the third one, okay, simple as that. And the soil isn't, you know, it's quite old soil. It's this soil's reasonably sandy, so it's reasonably it's very well drained. But once I see that it's starting to get a bit of growth, a few leaves starting to extend, that's when I'll probably give it a little bit of a feed, just a bit of, you know, fish emulsion or something like that, and that's it. 3 pineapples ready to go. So obviously, you know, it takes a good 18 months to even up to 2 years, but it's well worth the wait. And you can obviously grow these in pots, but you do want big pots. And so, you know, because, you know, you want a pot probably 18 inches in diameter, and because, you know, it's such a big pot and it requires a lot of potting mix and so on, you know, I much prefer to grow them in the garden. But, you know, if you don't have any room in the garden, or you want to grow on balcony or something like that, not a problem. So that's it. So as far as a prepper's garden is concerned, I think pineapples are a wonderful thing to grow. And, you know, I suggest, you know, when you feel like growing them, if you're growing in the garden, you've got a lot of space, you know, every couple of weeks, buy a couple of pineapples if you can get them cheap, and just keep planting them out, and, you know, get yourself a real nice batch of pineapples going. And in 18 months time, those tops again will you can replace the old plants with the new tops and keep going like that. And yeah, I think it's a great prepper's garden item where you got beautiful foliage, you know, to make your garden look nice, but at the same time we're getting food out of it. And yeah, beautiful little thing, pineapples. Alright guys, well, hope that was a little bit of info for you. Very basic, really not much to it. Simply cut the top, pop it in the ground and leave it. That's it. I mean, you can't get much simpler than that. It's, you know, as easy as growing a potato or something. So that's it. And yeah, fantastic prepper item. If you can imagine, if you got a dozen or 2 dozen of these plants going, you know, in times of you know, shit hits the fan, well, you know, there's nothing like homegrown pineapple to brighten up your mood and yeah, just help you survive that little bit longer. Alright guys, well, keep prepping, have fun, and I'll catch you next time.